Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Meyyappan and I am studying in Savita Engineering College of AI/ML department. I am here to teach about Linux API fork, wait and execute commands. So let's go to the commands. So fork. So what is fork? So fork system call is used to create a new process called a child process, which runs concurrently with the process that makes the fork call, the parent process. Wait. The wait system call makes a parent process wait until all of its child processes have been terminated. It can be used to clean up resources used by child processes and to retrieve their exit status. The execute or the EC, the exec family of functions replaces the current process image with new process image. This means that the current process is replaced entirely by the new program. The exec system calls do not return unless there is an error. So error. Hello everyone. So now we'll continue with the program. So as we can see, I've opened my parent Linux system. So first we will see uh, about the first code. So so these are the files in my downloads, and now we will just go into it. So this is the program for getting a process ID and a parent process ID and printing it. So as we can see here, we have imported our required modules stdio.h, unistd.h, and sys/types.h. Now we get the process ID with the data type of PID underscore T and the same with P underscore process underscore ID, which represents the parent process ID. So now we will use the get PID and the get PPID function, and then we print the process ID and the parent process ID. So this is the basic code. So now we will run this code. So now then we will run this. So we have gotten the output. The process ID is 1645 and the parent process ID is 1273. So now we will go to the next code. So this code is to create a new process and then check if it's a parent process ID or the child process. So now we'll get, so we import all the modules and get an integer known as PID. Then we make this PID into a process. The fork function is used for that. And then if the PID is equal to -1, then the fork will be failed and it will be exited. If it is 0, then the child process will be get PID and the parent process will be the get PPID. And if it's greater than 0, that is the value is positive for PID, then the process ID will be the default get PID value and we will exit the code with success. So now we will run this code. As we can see, we have gotten it. The parent process with the process ID is 1650. I am the child process. My process ID is 1651. And the parent process is then later given as 1. So now we will run the next code. Let's see it first. So this is implementation of exec process. Right. So this is the C program to execute Linux system commands using Linux API system calls exec family. So let's see, execute family. So first we import all the modules, then we get int main, and we get a process ID data type PID and create a process. And if PID is lesser than 0, that's if it is a negative value, then the fork will be failed and will exit in failure. Else, else if it is equal to 0, this is then it will be the child process and we will execute the ls command of the current path. So the current path here is /home/path/downloads and ls-l. So this is ls of l, which will return the all of the directories in a detailed manner. And if this code does not run properly, then the p error will run and it will print execl failed, and then we exit with failure if this is failed. Or else we'll then, if it's a positive value, then we'll get a int status and we'll wait for the status value within the process. If wife exited or status, then we will print that the child process is the status. Else the child did not exit normally and we will now print the parent process is done. So now we will run the code. As we can see, all of it is running properly. So there is no permission access given to the /home/parent/downloads, and hence, as we can see, the execl fail has been printed and the reason is also being printed here, and then the child process exited with status 1. So this is all for today. Thank you very much.